Hey guys, it's your buddy Moo Juice Magic here. You know I like video games. You're here, you probably like video games. Yeah, we like to make fun of influencers abroad making asses out of themselves, or idiots breaking driverless vehicles, or talking about all sorts of random influencer stuff, or creator drama. We like to do all of that, but we really do like video games, and that's one of the reasons we're here, and that's what we're going to talk about today. When you play a video game, why are you playing a video game? Well, you're doing it to decompress, right? You're not doing it to stress yourself out more. You're doing it to sit down and go, hey, I want to escape the troubles of my day. It's the same as watching television or a movie or listening to music or reading a book. You do it to kind of get out of the normalcy and the day to day stress and drama, right? And one thing we have a problem with is all these types of media suddenly are trying to force things into our time to decompress. Things that aren't necessary because we have to hear about it in real life all the time. All the time. To the point of absurdity. It's ad nauseum every day. You cannot go a day without hearing about stuff like this. From the acolyte Leslie Headland's and Kathleen Kennedy's desire to make Disney the most woke piece of crap ever, which they have done an amazing job. Pair that up with the kid touching at Disney, and you have a real powder keg of excellence, I guess. But it's, Assassin's Creed and wokening up, that game, and that didn't do well for them. Or that game that I can't even remember the name of, it released for, 2 weeks before it got completely shut down for something like a $400 million loss on their part. Like, how are people not getting this? How are developers not understanding? We don't want to hear you cram your woke ideology down our throats when all we want to do is sit down. We want to complete a puzzle. We want to solve a mystery. We want to shoot some bad guys. We want to beat a boss, get the high score. Bullshit with our friends in a situation that's not at the bar where we might get in a fist fight. We want to have a good time and relax. We've worked. We've played at school, maybe. We get out of school, we want to come home and play video games. We don't want to sit and hear the shit when we have to listen to it from our teachers, from our fucking authority figures, on the radio, on television, on the news. It's everywhere. It doesn't need to be in entertainment. That is a fact. And if you're worried that you're not making people feel welcome, motherfucker, do you think Spyro the Dragon was something I identified with? Or Buck Bumble? Do you think I identified with that? No, but I played it because it was entertaining. Do you think I identified as a short Italian plumber stomping on walking mushrooms and turtles? No, but I loved Mario. Still love Mario. Why are you so hell-bent on just soaking down every aspect of entertainment this way? Because it takes away from your message and it does a disservice to the people that are struggling with these situations, and it whitewashes it and it makes people less tolerant, and no one seems to learn that. Well, I can't just talk about it without showing you a gleaming example that I just found today from Dragon Age. By now you've probably heard about it because I made 4 videos today trying to catch up before next week. So here we are. Let's hear what words of wisdom they have for us.
Handling that snake's nose. She's still holding the ruby in her other hand. Maker's panties. I was so proud.
Maker's panties. First of all, that's hilarious.
Ah, shit. They're still holding it. Sorry. What are you doing? Pulling a barb. Oh. Okay. A barb? Tradition in the Lords of Fortune from one of our old members, Barb. Good guy, but like most of us, his plans went sideways a lot. Bad blood among your crew's not good for morale, but there's not always time for big drawn-out apologies. So, when one of us screws up and we know we screwed up, we go quick 10 to put it right. Pulling a barb. Oh, there we go.
Very open-minded.
I'm glad the Lords of Fortune have Tasha's back.
Oh, Tasha's...
The Lords of Fortune have Tasha's back because you said she instead of they. Guys, when you have a cutscene, I don't know why I'm having to tell developers this, but they become so retarded they don't understand what cutscenes in video games are for. It is to push a narrative storyline that is specifically involved in the fucking storyline for the game. The cutscenes are there to explain something important that's happening in the game or that happened in the past in the game to help you solve whatever's coming up in front of you down the line. It's not there for you to woke up the game. What is the point of making someone sit through this?
The first non-binary member of the Lords.
I say as I hit play.
It was a little before your time.
The non-binary.
Huh. Bastard looked better than I did.
When is this supposed to be set?
And out of them too.
Okay, so she's definitely like into whoever she was just talking about.
Any reason you can't just apologize?
Sometimes people say, oops, sorry, and hope that fixes it.
And it should. It very well should. That should be the most anyone ever does. I usually just completely don't acknowledge it. And I'm going to tell you why. I have friends who struggled with transitioning, but I knew them a specific way their whole life. And at some point later on in life, they decided that they were the other gender. And I spoke with them about it candidly. A couple of this is more than one person. I'm not using them as a pronoun. I'm using it the way it's meant to be used. But I spoke to them each about it individually, and I said, hey, look, I have known you this way forever. It's going to take me a while to call you. I'll call you whatever you want me to call you. It's going to take a while, so don't get all mad. And you know what? They were totally understanding. Both of them. Not even a problem. And they said, you know, we understand that you don't, like, agree with this or this doesn't fit up with your beliefs or anything. I said, well, yeah, because I studied biology. It's pretty fucking basic. At the same time, though, we're still friends. We're friends because both of us are understanding that the individual is more important than just this stupid blanket of wokeness that's permeating our culture. By the way, one of those people did detransition, and it almost killed them transitioning in the first place. All they really needed to do, in their words, was to seek psychological help and get medicated. And now they're back to normal, and it wasn't an issue. The other person, they're struggling with it, and they are incredibly depressed at all times. And I mean at all times. And it's not because other people are treating them bad. We live in California. No one's treating you that poorly here. At all. Quit making shit up. If anything, straight people are getting treated like shit because we're expected to believe this and we're forced on it. Now, we're totally willing and accepting of people and their decisions. This is America. I don't think the government should be anywhere near your bedroom. But this shouldn't be something forced on children. This shouldn't be something forced down the throat of everyone. We're just trying to play a fucking video game. I'm okay with it existing. It does. It happens, guys. Whether you like it or not, this is a part of society. And unfortunately, people were treated miserably for being this way. The problem is now we have a whole lot of people saying that they're this way when there are people that are really like that. People don't just do this in groups and make it realistic, folks. It's just not how this works.
But they just want to get the whole thing over with. Trust me, I know. But putting a bath, you sweat a little. Makes you think about it a little more. Shows the other person you mean it.
You know, you shouldn't. You shouldn't ever have to do that. If you sit there and you have a friend who quit drinking because he's a problematic drunk, and you forget and you offer him a beer, you shouldn't have to pay a penance. An apology should be enough at most. At fucking most. Because it's a decision they have made with their life. Period. And it is now in your realm of existence. Anytime you push something that you are onto someone else, you need to be the one that's accepting, not the other person, because you have now changed their normal and insisted upon being your way in their life. That is a very selfish and impolite way to think about anything. That doesn't mean that we shouldn't be understanding of folks or willing to accept folks or care about folks. We should care about everybody, except for kid touchers. Those are straight in the wood chipper. But folks that are transitioning or have confusion about who they are, their identity, we should be there and supportive of them emotionally. But we also shouldn't be expected to just accept all of it at carte blanche. It's not going to happen. And if you do that, you come out with a very filtered, untruthful society. It becomes just fake. And wokeness is one of the most fake things out there. The most woke people are absolutely fake. They're not even kind of believing anything they're saying. They're doing it for attention. They're being ultra woke for attention. And that's what this is about. This is a game to try to gain popularity. What folks don't understand, the developers don't understand, is this ruins your credibility to us gamers because you're turning it into something that's stupid.
What if they mean it when they say they're sorry, though? And that's the other reason. Some people mess up and get all dramatic. They make it about them. Oh, I didn't mean it right. I never do that on purpose. They feel so bad about it that it's on everyone else to smooth it over and make them feel better.
Okay, now that right there is an evil way of thinking. The way she's saying that is a mindset that these people are encompassing, and it's fucking disgusting. That is a psychopathic mindset. That is a narcissistic mindset. That is evil. That, folks, and I hate the term gaslighting, that's gaslighting. When you are insisting anyone that has an opinion is suddenly the problem, you're the fucking problem. And you need to change, not everybody else around you. That's all there is to it.
Oh, okay, yes, some people might do that. Putting a bar puts it on the person who screwed up. They made the mess, they fixed it, done.
That is one of the most absurd fucking things I've seen in a video game. The most asinine things I've seen in a video game. I don't care what side of the fence you are on. We should be able to agree that coming into playing a video game should be about something that's not this. If you are transitioning and you're offended by what I've said, look, man, I don't have anything against you personally at all. Man, I say man to everybody. It's not personal. That's an agendered term. It's like dude. Don't get pissed at me if I say man, dude, or guys, okay? That's an a-neutral term to me. It's all it is. I have nothing against you personally. If you are going through something, you're an individual who's going through something personally and individually. You might not be accepted by everybody, but it is you that's making that decision. And that's okay. It's okay to be that way. It is okay to make that decision as an adult. As a child, this is not normal. We should never push it on kids, ever, at all, at any age, period. Let adults be adults. You're a grown-ass person. You can do whatever you want. You're trusted to vote. You should be trusted to do this. If you're trusted to go and die for your country, you should be trusted to make you into whoever you deem is necessary to be. But you cannot expect everyone else to just accept that. And you cannot vilify anyone that just doesn't agree with it or has a hard time with it. That is unfair. It's incredibly selfish. That said, people do owe you a degree of dignity and respect. But that respect needs to go both ways. You have to understand. You are the one altering the world around you, not the person that's already been established. You have to handle that shit gracefully. You don't get to expect everyone else to do it. It's not okay. At the same time, guys, if you know someone that's transitioning or is going through this and they're having a hard time with it, the last thing you should do is castigate them, is to shove them away and to treat them like a second-class citizen. They're still a person. They're still the person you knew before. They're just going through something you don't understand. That doesn't mean hate them. That doesn't mean they're weird or creepy or bad. That doesn't mean any of that. You know, it can get that way with some people. And you have to understand as well on both sides. Both sides have to understand this. A lot of people are doing this superficially. And that becomes a serious problem because there are people that do have a psychological disorder with this. And my heart goes out to you, and I love you guys, and I don't want you to get the wrong impression. I do have your back. Just don't push it on my kids, and I will accept you as long as you're willing to be accepting of what I believe. Okay? I think that's more than fair. It's all anyone can ask. There's an old saying that says, as much as in you, dwell with everyone peaceably. Okay? That goes both ways, folks. Anyway, video games, my point is, shouldn't be about this. There was no point to this. It takes away from the reality of the situation, and it just makes people less tolerant. You're doing a disservice to folks that are going through this by making games that do this shit, and making movies that do this. And you're tanking your sales. I don't know how Dragon Age is doing, but I know how The Acolyte did. I know how that other game did. I still can't remember what the hell that game was called. Anyway, what are your guys' thoughts about video games and having this stuff in it in the comments below? Do you think it's a breath of fresh air? Do you think it should just not be there? Now, comment respectfully to each other, please, on either side. That's all I'm asking, okay? Be respectful, voice your opinion, and accept the opinions of those around you in the comments that are commenting, okay? That's all I'm asking. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do. I appreciate you guys. And I'm going to go do something else now because that I had like 4 brain cells left, and I think I'm down to 1. If someone blows an aerosol can within a mile of me, I might turn into Joe Biden's vegetative state.